just going to go up here a bit. Hey there guys, how's it going? Welcome to the live for this Sunday from a very hot and, well, fairly humid Saigon today. I don't know how hot it was today, but it was up in the mid-30s for sure. And I'm coming to you from the Caravelle Hotel, so the opposite of where we came from last week, which was at the Continental Hotel. So thanks for watching if you're watching this live, or after the fact if you're watching this throughout the next week, sometime during this week coming. And I'll just give you a little bit of a look before we get into some of the questions that'll hopefully come in a moment or so. Now I'm not too sure if you can see because we're looking into the sun at the moment, but that's just down there, that's the Opera House, and behind it is the Vincom Centre. And going along there, you can probably just see the spires there of Notre Dame Cathedral, which has been under, refurbishment for probably close to 10 years now. And just moving along a little bit further there, you can see down on Lam Son Square there, the buses waiting to pick people up. The old location of the Eden building, which is now a high-end department store, and just looking up Dom Coy Street over there. And actually behind Vincom, the Vincom Centre here, is the famous location where the helicopter took off on the 29th of April back in 1975. Sorry, I've got a tree here, and out in that direction there is the Rex Hotel, where we did a live stream a few weeks ago now. So we're covering all the historic hotels as we lead up to Reunification Day, which is April 30. So we've got another, 25 days or so to go before the city really kicks off to celebrate Reunification Day. So as you can see, she's a pretty hot day today, and it's right on 5 o'clock, or just past 5 o'clock. Hey there, so thanks for joining me on the live stream, my regular Sunday live stream from Saigon. I do this every Sunday around about this time, although sometimes I do it in the morning. My name's Matt, and welcome to Matt's Vietnam Life, and it's a channel all about telling you about my life in Vietnam. I've been living in Vietnam since 2010, and if you've got any questions about my life in Vietnam, or you've got any questions about travel, let me know. Put them in the comments section and I'll do my best to answer them. I think I'll take you for a little walk around the rooftop here. We're at Saigon Bar on the rooftop of the Caravelle. There's Mel's here. So I don't know how high up we are. We're about 11 or 12 floors up, I think. And let me just take you for a quick walk around the Saigon Bar. And actually, I've been here many times before, of course, but I never knew there was a bar down there. So bear with me if the Wi-Fi drops out. G'day bees, how you going? Thanks for joining us. So on the walls they've got some of the old photographs from back in the day when this was a war correspondence hotel. Well, not really a war correspondence hotel, but it's where they stayed during the war. And this is a little patio area out the back here. Bees, we're at the Caravelle Hotel, so we're basically opposite where we were at the Continental Hotel last week. So this should give you a good look of District 1, and I think you know this by now. This is the Batexco Tower. Used to be the tallest building in Saigon, and then just to the left of it is the Reverie Hotel. It's a high-end hotel. The Sunwa building, which has been there for a long time, and I believe there used to be a church there. Originally it was a church, and at the base of that is Winway Street, which is the walking street. The big building in the background there, that's Takashimaya. So there's a big Japanese shopping centre just there. But here you go. Here's a classic Saigon view if you've ever seen one. Hopefully you can see it. Sorry, the lighting isn't so great. But that gives you a good look of the back view of Saigon, I guess. So bees, it's about, I don't know, must have been at least 35 degrees here today. Could have been more. And this street here, I'm not too sure if you can see it, but this is Leloy Street, and it runs off into the direction of Pham Lu Lao, Bentan Market. Actually under that street there is the new metro line. Hey Thomas, afternoon. Yeah, I think, Tom, I think it was you, wasn't it? I think it was you that wrote the article about Saigon Bar. I can't really remember. I remember drinking lots of cocktails. Yeah, I think you did all the really good ones, you know, like the old historic hotels. I remember you did, was it the Majestic down the street? I remember you did that one. I think you did a bit of a Graham Greene feature or something like that. And Barstool, remember? It was called Barstool. Yeah, they were good old days. Thomas, who's in the chat, he's talking about our previous lives as, I don't know, what would you call us? I don't know if you'd call us journos, Tom. But we used to work for an English language magazine here, and we used to do things like, well, one of the articles that Tom used to regularly do, or columns, was, it was called Barstool, and he used to get the, he had the enviable job of going around and drinking the city dry once a month to see where all the best bars were and to try out their drinks. Mel, lighting is good. Sunset will be awesome. Yeah, looking forward to the sunset. Thomas, yeah, the English lady was the manager. Yeah. Mel will remember. I'll get Mel to mention it. I'm just trying to see the comments. Hang on. I'll give you a look at the city. Islam, from where? Not too sure what you're talking about, but the live's coming from Ho Chi Minh City. Thanks for joining. Mel had a photo at this spot with Pulitzer Prize winner Mr. Peter Arnett, legend. Yeah, I remember you showing me the photos there. I wonder if all those old journos are coming back at the end of the month. Hey bees, 15 degrees. Okay, sunbathing day for Glasgow. The parks were full. I couldn't do it. Even though my ancestral roots are from Scotland, I don't think I'd be able to brave it. 15 degrees. Ugh. As opposed to about 35, although it's starting to cool down very quickly now as the sun goes down. So hopefully we'll get a cracker of a sunset. We'll see. Although there aren't too many clouds in the sky, so it may be a little bit of a fizzer, but it's still nice up here. Tom, I love doing barstool. Yeah, I realised that too. Yeah. You did a good job of it too. I think most of them have shut down though now, sadly. Yeah, but I tell you what, if you were doing barstool now, Tom, you would have years of content. There are so many bars here now, so many sort of speakeasy style bars that you can try out, and so many good cocktails and drinks. Oh, hey Nathan, how you going? Nathan, was it you that was asking about the galleries, the art galleries? I think it was you last week asking about that. If you go down into, I put it somewhere, I think I put it in the description for this live video. I put a list of art galleries that you can check out when you're in Saigon. I'm sure there's plenty more. But I've just listed about 6 or 7 that I knew off the top of my head. No worries, Nathan. Yeah, a couple of them are people I actually know. So when you get to Ho Chi Minh City, I'm not sure when you're coming, but or before you get to Ho Chi Minh City, let me know which ones you're thinking about visiting, and I can hit a couple of them up for you and let them know you're coming. Especially the Studio Saigon one that you'll see. I think it's at the top of the list. A good friend of mine owns and operates that. He set that up, and it's also got a bar in it, but he needs a little bit of a notification, a bit of notification in advance if you're going to go and see him. So let me know a little bit in advance. You can mention it here on the live stream, or you can email or some comment or something like that, and I can let him know. No worries, cool. All right, I'll take you through the bar again, and we'll take you over the other side a little bit. We might be able to see a little bit more of the city. Bear with me, the internet may drop out. Excuse me guys, sorry. So here you go. Tom, you'll probably remember these. Here we go. Some of the old photos of the war correspondents that stayed here during the war. I remember this guy here. This is Peter Jennings. I remember he used to do the news. It says here ABC, but I remember him as an older man when I was a kid doing the news. (1967). And so this photo here, I think, was taken on this level, what is now Saigon Bar. This is the original building, and this is where we're in right now. So as you can see, it's a pretty cool space, isn't it? It opens up pretty nicely, and then of an evening they'll have a band, as you can see. And out the other side here, so the Opera House, of course, just there. If you're coming to Saigon, might be worth checking out a show there. If you're interested, let me know. I'll put a link in the description of the video, so you can check out what's on offer there. There's some really cool shows there. That's the Continental last weekend. We were sitting down there for the live stream. And then over there, the Rex Hotel, where we did a live stream. But the two spires over there that you can probably just see, that's the Notre Dame Cathedral, just to give you reference. And the Hyatt, I think, yeah. So I had a pretty good week this week. I happened to meet a few of the guys who are usually in the live stream, and we caught up. I think it was on Monday from memory. I can't really remember. Monday or Tuesday last week, and we caught up for lunch, which was really good. One of the guys, Vu, who's usually in the live stream, he might drop in a bit later. He's here. He's from Australia, and he's come over for a holiday. And he wanted to meet up, so I met up with him and a couple of other guys who I've met through this live stream, and we had some lunch at a place that Vu wanted to go back to. We had a crab noodle soup or something like that, and then I took them for a little bit of a walk around the local neighbourhood so they could get a bit of a feel of the vibe. One of the guys actually lives here, so or has been living here for a couple of years. He's usually in the live stream as well. Maybe they're sick of me after last week. And one other guy, Australian guy who's moved to Saigon. No, he hasn't moved to Saigon. He's moved to Vietnam, but he wanted to meet up as well. So we had something to eat, a couple of beers, I think, and Vu, he picked up his grab jacket, which was really cool. So that was really good. It was really good to meet people who have been supporting me by watching the channel. So if any of you guys either watching now or anyone who's watching this after, if you're coming to Saigon and you're keen to meet up, let me know in advance. Give me a couple of weeks notice at least, and we can catch up for lunch or something like that. And if you've got any sort of specific things that you need help with in terms of location and just getting a feel for the city, I can help you with that. That's all good. So yeah, let me know. Bees, gotta love Vietnam. I cannot wait to visit you two. Yeah, look, we probably show a lot of the positive sides of Vietnam, I suppose. There are downsides to it. It's not always plain sailing, but look, it looks sensational today, and the weather's really coming into that hot season as we build up to the rainy season. We really only sort of have two seasons in Saigon. It's either, well, some people say it's hot and then very hot, but typically we break it down into dry season and wet season. So yeah, we're starting to build. It's starting to get a bit more humid. We've had a little bit of rain, like last week during the live stream we had a little bit of rain, but that was unseasonal. I don't think there was anything in that. The rainy season will sort of kick off next month, really, in May. Here we go. Okay, 61. Hey, thanks for joining again. Aloha from Houston, Texas, 5:21 a.m. Okay, cool. Well, that's early. Early start for you. Or is it late home? Late home, big one out last night. Bear with me while I go through the comments. Okay, Nathan, how's Vietnam feeling about Trump's tariffs? Yeah, okay. Yeah, good question. I think, from what I've read, which isn't a lot, but I think everyone felt the shock in the business world. And Vietnam, I think it was like, what, 46% or 49% increase in the tariff on goods from Vietnam. I believe, though, that the what do you call him? Not the president, not the prime minister, the chief of the Communist Party, the boss of the Communist Party. I can't think of the word. Help me out if you know it. He spoke to Trump apparently this week, and he put, according to the news, he put to Trump that they lower it to 0% each. So both Vietnam and the US to have 0% tariff. So I don't think that's locked in, but they're already trying to negotiate. Negotiate down from what, 46 or 49% or something like that. As for the average person on the street, I don't really know yet. I don't really know. Generally speaking, though, I think before this at least, there was a positive vibe about Trump. The Vietnamese seem to like Trump. But that's really all I know about it, to be honest. But what I know is that they're negotiating it and hoping to get it down to 0% tariff with some other sort of caveats to it as well. So we'll see. I'm sure we'll find out soon. I don't know how it will affect travel. I'm not too sure how it will affect travel to Vietnam. Obviously, people's spending might be curtailed a little bit more, and they might defer that or delay that trip that they've been planning to have. That might be an effect. Or it could also mean that Vietnam is even a more desirable destination to come to, given that things are generally cheap here anyway. Sorry, I'm just checking but I'll get back to that. Nathan, if you've got any more you want to hear about that, I think I've gone around and around a little bit on that one, but yeah, the Vietnamese dong is pretty low at the moment. It's taken a hit. It's been taking a hit, I think. I think it's about 25,000 US at the moment, I think. Just a moment. Yeah, I think sorry, I'm just scrolling through the messages here. Is it Ox61 or OK61? Sorry, I can't see it. Ox. Sorry, Ox61. 5-star hotel. No, we're not staying here. We've just come up onto the rooftop. Here. Anyone can come here and have a drink. It's happy hour from 5 till 7, and I think it's 50% off. But usually the drinks up here are pretty expensive. Probably one of the more expensive places around town. Plus as well, you get your VAT and your service taxes and stuff like that. So what is that? I don't know, 15% possibly on top of your bill at the end of the day. But I'm just having a soda chun. Yeah. Soda chun is lime. For anyone who doesn't know, soda and lime, and they put a bit of sugar in it as well. A little bit of Schweppes. As for being 5-star, they bill it as 5-star, but I think there's a fair range in the 5-star category, isn't there? Timmy T, hello Matt, where are you in Vietnam? Hey Timmy T, I'm in Ho Chi Minh City. I'll just give you a quick look. There we go. I'm not sure if you can see that, but that's looking down Dom Coi Street in District 1. And I don't know if you can see it, but that's the Notre Dame Cathedral just there. Okay, Tom, Matt, have you ever been to Buôn Ma Thuột? No, I haven't. Thinking of heading up there for a few days next or the week after. Yeah, Coffee Central. And you can ride a few elephants, I believe. I think they still have elephants up there. But one of these days, again, I'll get on the motorbike and head that way. Never really had a need to sort of go there. But I believe it's beautiful, and of course lots of coffee, is that a scouting trip for your coffee shop, Tom? Nathan, it's still early days, yeah, he's talking about the tariffs, so time will tell how the world reacts, yeah. Yep. Well, Vietnam is such a large manufacturing country, so you know, tariffs like that, high tariffs like that are going to have a big impact. Bees, Matt, how has the currency fluctuation been between the dollar and the dong since you've been in Vietnam? Has it changed much? Well, what is it currently? No, can you look it up? I think it's $1 at the moment is around about 25,000 Vietnam dong. But as a rule of thumb, I used to go by a dollar being 20,000 Vietnamese dong. So it's weakened significantly recently. But yeah, sort of around about 19 to 20,000 dong typically for the US dollar. But I noticed the other day it was up around 25,000 or something. But that's only recently. I think for a long time. What do we got? Yeah, it's nearly 26,000.
No, but that's in 2010 when you arrived.
Oh. Okay, Mel's telling me that in 2010 when I arrived here, it was at 22. So, I don't know. I don't think it's fluctuated that much. Mel, 10% tax for alcohol, 8% for service fee. Yeah, and it's 8% if you don't drink alcohol. Say if you get your bill when you come to whatever restaurant, bar, cafe, there's a 10% VAT on alcohol and an 8% VAT on food. So if you don't drink, obviously your tax is a little bit lower. And I think that got brought in during the pandemic. I think maybe everything got lowered to 8% at that stage, and then since then alcohol has been raised up to 10%. Don't quote me on that, but it's moved a little bit as well. And sometimes you get a service fee at places, which can be typically about 5%. Other places don't have it. You can tip the staff if you want to. And Vietnam doesn't traditionally have a tipping culture embedded in its culture. But obviously, if you offer to give someone a tip, they're very happy to take it. And actually, if you do give someone, if you give a waiter a tip, perhaps just slip it into their hand, just show it to them and slip it into their hand, and they can put it in their pocket rather than having to put it into a community kind of, bottle or whatever, a jar or whatever for everyone to share. If there's someone who you really like and they've given you great service, give them a tip. And how much would I give? I don't know. Look, if I spent about 500,000 dong, depending on how I paid, if I paid by cash and I got a whole bunch of change back, I'd give them that. Probably 20,000 dong, which is a fairly sizable tip. Tom, indeed, I'm thinking I can find a decent coffee connection there. Yeah, for sure. It's the home of coffee. Also, hit me up, Tom, this week, because I've got a Vietnamese friend who buys coffee from Lam Dom, like up around Dalat, up around Ma Thuột. So, he might be able to give me a connection for you as well. Yeah, bees, camels. I don't know why I said camels. Maybe because it's hot. Timmy, I was just there last month in Da Nang and Nha Trang, but back in the US now. Thinking moving there in a few years when I retire. I was born there, but been in the US since 1975. I have a 5-year visa. Okay, cool, yeah. There's a lot of Viet Kieu who live in Saigon, who live in Vietnam. A lot of people with Vietnamese heritage coming back to live in Vietnam, and some short-term, some long-term. I have both short-term and long-term or friends who are living here short-term, long-term, who have Vietnamese heritage, and a mix of people actually. A mix of American, mostly American. I mean, obviously, there's a greater population of overseas Vietnamese who are American, but I have some Australian Viet Kieu, as we call them. There's the odd British one, but not so many, and French, of course. There are quite a few French living here with Vietnamese heritage, or really they're Vietnamese but have French citizenship, I guess. But yeah, Timmy T, sounds like Da Nang is a real hotspot at the moment for people to come and live, especially for digital nomads. They seem to like it there. I like it. I like Da Nang, but it gets cold. It gets cold and stormy. I'm pretty keen not to live in a cold climate ever again. And when I say cold, it's probably not the cold that you're used to in the States. I'm not too sure where you're from, but Da Nang can get cold and wet and grey and stormy because the storm system comes across from the Philippines every year, and they cop a lot of flooding up there. Yeah, Mel, 50% happy hour right now. Not sponsored. No, not sponsored, Caravelle, but they can pay for our bill if they like. These, okay, you guys are chatting. Yep, Timmy T, yep, you are Vietnamese from overseas. Yeah, that's it. Yep, so there are a lot here, a lot coming back. Of course, lots of people with families still living here. I think I met someone. We met a family, a couple. We met a couple about 2 or 3 weeks ago who were Canadian, actually. I forgot to mention the Canadians. There's quite a lot of Canadians with Vietnamese heritage living here. And they were a couple about my age who were over here for a holiday. And he was catching up with his sister who had stayed behind. So that was a really interesting and it was a brief conversation, but it was a very interesting conversation we had with them because his wife was Vietnamese Canadian. So I think both of them as babies relocated over to Canada. He spoke a little bit of Vietnamese and she spoke next to no Vietnamese, but they spoke Tini T, you'll know this, Ting Hoa. So they are, for want of a better word, of Chinese heritage. So he and his sister communicate in Ting Hoa, whatever that is in English. Tini T, you might be able to fill us in a bit more on that, but essentially they communicate in Chinese. His sister doesn't speak English and he doesn't speak Vietnamese well enough in order to communicate. So, and they're from Gia Long, so where there's a large community of people, large population of people with Chinese heritage. Let me just get a drink. Here we go, the sun's starting to go down. So it's looking like it's turning into one of those classic Southeast Asian sunsets that we get this time of year. Here we go, look at that. No worries, Ox. Hi Mark, how's it going? Yeah, he's talking to bees. The VND is pegged to the dollar. Yep. But I think you guys probably know more about economics and finance than me, so I'll let you guys chat about that. But let us know where you're from, Mark. Thanks for joining us. And of course we're coming to you from the Caravelle Hotel, one of the more famous hotels in Saigon. I have done a little bit of work for these guys over the years, back before the pandemic. I actually I did the content for their website. They renewed their website. They did a renovation here. So I'm quite familiar with the hotel. And it's a great view. I'm looking at a great view now.
Didn't you come up with your story
I can hear the cathedral. I can hear the bells. It must be nearly 6, is it?
5:40.
Oh, 5:40. So if you've just joined me, I'm on the rooftop bar of the Caravelle Hotel, which is smack bang in the middle of District 1 in Saigon. So you can't blame me for trying to bring you the best locations every week in Saigon for you guys to check out. Just over my shoulder there's the Hyatt, I think it is. Is it the Hyatt, Mel? Yeah, the Hyatt Hotel. That one there. They have a great pizza, but you'll pay for it. No worries about that. within Com Centre there for the Aussies. The Australian consulate's up there. I'm not really particularly fond of going there, to be honest. Continental Hotel, the oldest hotel in Saigon, and we did our live there last week, right on that corner just there, and that's I'm trying to get my finger right. Dom Khoi Street goes up to Dom Khoi Street there, and you can see the spires of Notre Dame Cathedral, which is hard to believe these days that was like the tallest building in Saigon. And then a long time ago, when Mel first came to Saigon, which is probably about 20 years ago, this building here in the background, this one here, that was the tallest building in Saigon 20 years ago. And on the top there was a little rooftop bar. Saigon loves its rooftop bars, and she tells me that she used to go up there and have a couple of drinks and overlook the city there. But I don't know if there's anything up there these days. Bees, are you a journalist, Matt? I did some journalism studies, but also Tom was in the chat. I don't know if he's still in the chat now, but we used to work for an English language magazine, print magazine, from about, I can't remember when it was, maybe 2015, around about, for a couple of years. We both worked for an English language magazine where we used to go around and do things like restaurants, bars, hotels, resorts, trips, and it was all in print. And you'll be able to find it online, but it'll be in Issue. It's called Issue. You know how they do the PDF version of them. The website doesn't work anymore. I don't think there's a website anymore. But it's called The Word, as in WORD. And we had a great time, and it was really professionally done, actually. The layout was excellent, and it filled that gap where, at a time when digital media hadn't really kicked off in Vietnam so much, because you got to remember that even up until 2014, Facebook was technically banned here. So in order to access Facebook back then, you had to have a VPN or whatever, or some kind of workaround. That's how we used to access Facebook back then. So our magazine was an excellent source of information for people either visiting here or expats who were here, wondering what was coming up, which bars were cool, which restaurants were good. We used to do a restaurant review and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it was good times, really good times. So I don't know if you'd call me a journalist, but I've also got a website that you can check out. It's called thebureauasia.com. So once I left that magazine, I set up my own, and I taught myself how to create a website. And so the website that you see, thebureauasia.com, is what I created. But I'm not doing much writing these days. There's very little money in it for me, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of research. And I'm really starting to get into video now, and I'm keen to grow my YouTube channel, as you know. Bees, I'm blaming you for these beautiful locations, Matt. I leave these live streams crying every week. Well, actually, I could probably believe that, given that it's like 15 degrees in Glasgow at the moment. Yeah, that would make me cry as well. Here we go. You can see over my shoulder there the double-decker buses there. I'll hop on. Sorry about the lighting. My camera's not great on my phone. And then people getting all their photos, getting all their selfies done in front of the Opera House. Ah, Nathan. Yeah, how's the driver's license going? Thanks for asking. It's going okay so far. So the problem was with my driver's license was that I had to renew my Australian one first. So I had to get all my documents together, get a new photo taken, go to my GP so that he could witness it and sign the back of the photos and all that sort of jazz. It took me a couple of weeks, and I sent it off about a week ago, and I had to send it to my sister because, as it turns out, you can't send documents to the main roads office in Australia from DHL, from International Mailing Services, because they won't send it to a post office box. So I had to send it to my sister's house, and then she's sent it on, thankfully. So hopefully I'll hear in another week or so that I've got my Australian one renewed. And then once I get it back here, I'm going to have to go through the process of possibly getting it translated and renewing it again, and that usually only takes a couple of weeks. So I'm going to be without my license from the middle of this month for about a month, I reckon. It's going to take me that long, but that's okay. I've got nothing planned. After that though, I'm pretty keen to get down to the Mekong once I get sorted with my license. So, whoops. Mel's been telling me to write a book, but I don't know if I've got it in me. Mark, okay, you're in the UK. Okay, cool. Thanks for joining. Have you been to Saigon before? Oh, you did. Okay, 99. I'm just looking down here. I'll get to you in a second, Mark. Hang on. Derek Hung, 100 US dollars now buys you 2.6 million. Yeah. Actually, that's probably not too bad. Yeah, that's quite good. I wish I had more US dollars on me. Yeah, so that's pretty good. So Derek, if you're coming over, yeah, your US dollars are going to go pretty well, I'd say. You'll be very popular. Mark, when I came to VN in 99, I remember $1 was 13,000. Yeah, the good days, hey? 99. Okay, I was here at the same time. I came as a backpacker in 99. So feel free to share some of your experiences of what it was like to travel in Vietnam back in 99. I remember it being a bit of a slog. I don't know about you, but I bought the hop-on bus ticket, I think they called it. I bought one in Hanoi, and then it was valid for a month or something like that, and I took it all the way to Saigon over about 2 or 3 weeks. And I can remember the first leg of our trip from Hanoi to Ninh Bình. It was a big coach, like a 30-seater or 40-seater bus, and by the time we got to Saigon, it was like a taxi. Here we go, we're getting some sunset action. The sunset looks a lot better than on my phone, obviously. Interesting you say that, Mark. That's why the Vietnamese buy gold. I just did a video this week, and one segment features why the Vietnamese buy gold. So yeah, good coincidence. Yeah, if you look at my most recent vid, you'll see a section on it. Yeah, 99. Ho Chi Minh City felt like a village back then. There were barely any cars and traffic was light. Yep. Actually, I can't remember much of Ho Chi Minh City because it was the end of my trip and I was only here for one night. And I think I came in at night time as well. In 2007, yeah, 15 people came. The bill was 1.2 mil. Yeah. Let me go over here. Just take you for another quick walk around the place. There's quite a few people in for happy hour.
Nhưng mà em thấy á, cái hình con when I left Hawaii, I had some working and she's young and super talented American numbers, but and so when I left Hawaii, yeah, it is. When I left Hawaii, I didn't like the ADE as a final cameras and all these movies. So I just did one that I like. And I like
That sun's dipping quick now, isn't it? What are you up to, Mel?
You can't have some.
No, I can't.
You're driving.
I can't. I'm driving. Bees, Matt, with your experience of writing about bars and eateries, have you ever thought of doing food tours or being a guide? Legally, I can't. Foreigners can't be guides here, so unfortunately. You can write about things and you can have blogs and vlogs, obviously, and channels and social media, but you're not allowed to be a guide. In fact, a number of foreign guides were picked up by the police in Phuoc just a couple of weeks ago because they were found to be guiding people. I'm not sure what country they were from, but yeah. And I'm very mindful of doing stuff like that anyway. I wouldn't do it. If I wanted to do something like that, I would set something up legally and have local people working for me or a local owner. And I perhaps would be, the international rep or something like that. Yeah, Derek, 0 alcohol in Vietnam. Yeah, that's right. 0 alcohol blood level. But there's no need to drink and drive in Vietnam. I mean, the grab cars and the ride-hailing apps and all that is super cheap, so there's just no need. Not that that should be your main reason for not drinking and driving. Mark, I used to eat Jiao Long for 15,000 dong. Yeah. I can't say I eat Jiao Long that much, to be honest. Yeah. Speaking of 15,000 dong, I'm going to feature a banh mi in my local neighbourhood for 15,000 dong in my next video. So keep an eye out for that. Derek, I was going to say, what if dating and going to a rooftop bar to sip cocktails, you can't pick her up on your motorbike? Well, you could pick her up and take her there, but after you've had the drink, you just leave it in the car park, I guess. I guess that's what you could do. And actually, it's not. Given that this place is a five-star hotel and generally speaking is quite expensive, the parking, I've done it before, the parking overnight, not pick the girl up, the parking downstairs is pretty reasonable, and if you can show a bill from here, you'll get free parking. Little Leaf, what's up, Pinhead? I don't know, is that me that you're talking about, Little Leaf? That's a new nickname that I've got. Thomas, Alex, that was the name of your mate who managed... Alex, that's right. Yeah. She'll kill me for not being able to remember that. I think Alex, nah, she's in... I think she mixes her time between London and Colombia. Mark Devine, I have a friend who was a chef in... I'm not laughing at you, Mark. I'm laughing at the pinhead comment. I've never been called a pinhead before. Because actually my head is very big. Derek, how would you take her home? Well, you wouldn't. You'd just go to a hotel. There's plenty of hotels around.
Talk about the policy of bringing...
No, I don't want to get into that. Mark, I have a friend who was a chef in Hong Kong. He successfully opened 3 restaurants in Hong Kong. He's Vietnamese American. He wants to work in VN. What could he expect for salary? I have no idea.
Just open your own shop.
I have no idea what the salary would be for chefs. Yeah. Maybe a few years ago I would have known the answer to that, but I haven't spent a lot of time in the F&B community in the last couple of years, so I wouldn't know. And I guess also it would depend on what place he would be working at. You know, if he was working at an international 5-star hotel, there are a lot of them here, and resorts, there are a lot of resorts. I think he would get a job very easily. At the moment, the industry is constantly crying out for good chefs and really good hospitality staff. So I think he'd get a job, no worries. It would just be, obviously negotiating the salary. If it's like every other industry, then he'd expect to take a pay cut, but living expenses are much cheaper. So yeah, that's it. I'm guessing international hotels would be best. Yeah, and there's a lot, and there are a lot of resorts, a lot, especially up around Nha Trang. There are a lot of all your big international chains, or whatever you want to call them, are based up there. Phu Quoc is another one as well. There's a lot of international hotels and resorts there. Yeah, that's it. That's it, Derek. Kak San Tin Yu. Oh, they're everywhere. They are everywhere, and actually the rates are very good because they have the rates on the sandwich board out the front, right? So you know, 100, I don't know, 50,000 for an hour and 120 for the night or something like that. Okay. No worries, Mark. Yeah, that's all I really know in terms of that industry and chefing at the moment. Used to have a lot of friends who are chefs here, but some of them have moved on over the last few years. The peanuts are good. Peanuts are good at the Caravelle. Okay, so Derek, you're bragging, are you? I've done the same actually. I lived in Japan for 3 years, so yeah, a long time ago. So I had the experience of those places with slot machines, cable TV, jacuzzis, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I have a TRC. I heard you can extend your visa online now every 6 months. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. All I thought it was for... I don't know what sort of... I heard you can extend your visa online now every 6 months. So you're not talking about travel visa, right? As far as I know, you have to leave the country to extend your visa. Yeah. Bees, yeah, we're going to go somewhere to eat maybe later. Not too sure. I've been eating these peanuts here. They're quite good. Actually good. Look at these. Very good. They're kind of spicy. Spicy with the little,
These lime leaf.
yeah, it's a lime leaf. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, it's really good. Yes, Mark, yep. At the moment it is. Previously it was through my company. I have a registered business here. But during the pandemic, the capital investment requirements increased significantly, so I wasn't able to match that. So previously I had a TRC through my business, and now it is through Mel, actually. That's the best I can do for you for food today. It's really good though. TRCs are quite difficult to get these days, but if you get employed by someone here, a legitimate employer, they should be able to provide you with a work permit and then a TRC. But bees, yeah, we might go out for dinner somewhere. We haven't really decided yet. I'm actually trying to lose weight. I'm trying to stop eating, but all I've done is nibble these nuts since I've been here. Oh, thank you, man. Mark. So based on a spousal visa, you have to leave every 6 months to renew. No, it depends on your spouse's work permit and the validity of her work permit or his work permit. You know, your spouse. So it's quite common to have 2-year contracts, but it's entirely obviously up to the employer as to how long they employ you. But it's quite common in education. Mel works in education, so it's quite common for her. It's usual for her, to get a 2-year contract, and so that then she gets a work permit for 2 years. But her work organises all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. I think it's up for renewal next year, so we'll see what happens with that. But like a lot of things in Vietnam, if you want to pay for more services, so for example, if you want to get rushed through immigration when you arrive, you can pay for a service to do that. That'll get you through quicker. And I believe there are services that will fast track your visas and stuff like that, and lessen the hassle of renewing. Mark, I was assuming your wife was Vietnamese. No, she's Filipino. We met here, actually. Yeah, so for spousal visas for Vietnamese, yeah, I don't know what the stipulations are for those guys. I was under the impression that they get visas for 2 years, TRCs for 2 years at a time. I don't know. You'd have to check. I hope I don't look like a pig while I'm eating these peanuts.
lighting is just amazing.
Mark, I'm planning on testing the waters this winter for 3 months while working remotely. Yeah, it's worth doing that. It's a good idea to do it for 3 months. And working remotely, like, you know, internet, accommodation, food, all your expenses are very reasonable. So if you can get yourself here for 3 months to test it out, it's a good idea. Mark, I can get 5-year visa, but previously I would still need to leave Vietnam every 6 months. Oh, okay, that might be the case. As I said, I'm not familiar with the spousal visa requirements. It's different for spouses of Vietnamese people. Oh, okay, Mark. Yeah, you might be right. Yeah, I haven't looked into that, so yeah, that could be it. That'd be good if people could do that. Obviously, much cheaper and a lot less hassle. Hey Rabbit, how are you? Glad you could join. I hope you're well. I'm having these spicy peanuts at the Caravelle and I'm just about to sneeze. I think I've got a bit of chili up my nose. It's going to happen at some point. Mark, she works for an international university. She works in student support, but qualified as a teacher, lecturer.
I used to be.
Her background is in communications, media. So that's what originally brought her over to Vietnam, but she's moved into the student services, student support area at an international university here. So she has a good job. She has a real job. And I think she really enjoys it, which is great. And she, you know, the best part of her job are the students who come to see her for support. Bees, yeah, hopefully the camera's picking it up and doing it justice. Looks a bit blown out though. Good to hear, Rabbit. Yeah, it was good meeting you and meeting the guys. I mentioned that earlier. It was the highlight of my week. And Vu, he gave me the licorice. I've eaten all but 2 of them. I've eaten the whole bag, pretty much. No worries, Mark. Yeah, rabbit. I didn't get bullets this time. I got the all sorts. Probably lucky. Yeah, bees, yep. Yeah, I must have a fair bit of pommy in me, rabbit. That's on my mum's side. English and Irish. Mel, you've got a question. What food or sweets do you miss from home, Mel? Well, Mel isn't too far from home, so she often has friends who go home and they'll bring her back fish. Like a fermented fish, right?
Dried.
Dried fish. It's a little bit different from me. What else do you miss? Timmy T, how long have you been living in Vietnam, Matt? I've been living in Vietnam for 15 years. Since 2010. Yeah, don't ask. I've got a couple of videos, recent videos on my channel about my experience living here, so go and check those out if you like. Mark's talking to bees. Yeah, the Twilight's really good, Rabbit. Timmy T, salty dried fish, terrible. Bad luck, Mel. It does stink the house out a bit. Timmy T, this is a really good question. That's great, so I assume you love it there. Yeah, I do. I do really like it, and I think I've mentioned this before as well in the live stream, that you get used to living in a place and you get familiar with everything. My Vietnamese language is still nowhere near as good as what it should be and what I want it to be. So that's probably the last piece of the puzzle for me to complete in the next couple of years. Hopefully we're still here at least in the next couple of years. So yeah, I really want to get that fired up, and I'm sputtering along with my language. But in terms of the culture, in terms of finding ways to live so that you're comfortable, yeah, very used to living here. Love the Vietnamese people. The Vietnamese people are the best part, of course. And these days it's much easier because there's so much more food that you can buy at supermarkets and places like that. So, 15 years ago it was a bit trickier. It was pretty hard to get a hamburger, and now people are complaining if they can't get vegan cheese. So that's you talk about the change in traffic, well, the change in food as well over the duration has been really significant. But yeah, I remember I was living in District 5 at the time in Chinatown, and I'd have a craving for a burger, and you had to really put a lot of planning into it and really think about where you were going to go and how you were going to get there. The internet wasn't that great. I don't think we had smartphones. I don't think I had a smartphone then, so it was very tricky. And the burgers weren't great, you know. But these days, as I've said, you know, you can get a burger everywhere, and people will complain if they haven't got the right cheese on it or the right bread or something like that. So it's very interesting. Derek, okay, all right. Yeah, she might reply to you on that one, but okay, yeah. I like your style, Derek. You crack us up. Yeah, that's it, bees. Yeah, give it a go. Give it a go, bees. But I don't want to sugarcoat everything about Vietnam as well. It's a challenge. It still can be very challenging traveling here and living here. There are things on I'm not going to say daily basis, but a weekly basis that can drive people a bit crazy, you know. But I mean, I think that's life.
I'm so glad I got one right now. When the shower get up.
Yeah, golf is pretty expensive. I don't play it anymore. I used to play a little bit, but not anymore. I might just go for a little bit more of a walk and show you more of the lights before we wrap up. Sorry, I'm shaking the camera. Sorry about that. Go down here. I'm just going to sneak down here. There you go. That's not too bad of a view. That's Le Louis Street there, and the metro's under there. And straight up there is the backpacker area. And this sort of just behind this building here is Winhui Street, which is the main walking street. That's Takashimaya, big department store and hotels in there. The real Saigon just here.
Very ungenerous.
Exactly.
Sunwa Tower,
I think that's
the Texco Tower, and the Reverie.
The most profound for me is that cruelty is the point. It's not a byproduct. Yes, that's the point.
Hey Vuoi, Koyam, Danang Newton now. Danang, hey Nyachang.
It's fucking exhausting. Every morning we wake up, what horror happened? It should be full. Hopefully. I hear you.
In Danang. Okay, cool. How's the weather there?
Representing the family.
As you can see, it's beautiful here in Saigon tonight. Perfect. So what have you done in Da Nang? Any tips for the guys in the chat for Da Nang? Let me just sit down. Vu is on. Yeah. Vu Oi, I've pretty much eaten all the licorice that you gave me. Terrible, I know. Okay, I got a few questions here. Oh yeah, Vu Oi. Was probably about 35 degrees here today, I reckon. Maybe hotter. I don't know. It was pretty hot. But we don't have the ocean view, the ocean breeze like you do in Da Nang, so it's going to be a bit hotter here. Sorry, I'm wearing my sunnies again so I can see the comments.
Fair enough. I think it's
Okay, Timmy, you're setting me up. Matt, since you've been living there for a long time, do you speak Vietnamese to the locals? I assume you speak Vietnamese. I speak some Vietnamese, and I do my best to talk to the locals. Usually every day I try to make an effort to get out and chat to people. But the biggest difficulty for me is obviously remembering vocab, remembering words, and also pronunciation. Pronunciation's a real issue for me. Especially with an Aussie accent, we tend to elongate our vowels a lot, and our intonation goes up. And it's, as you probably know, Vietnamese, it's not good for your Vietnamese. But I'm working on it. Yeah. It's ongoing, I tell people, the state of my Vietnamese. But Vu, who's in the chat, he might be able to tell you what my Vietnamese is like. You know, we had a moment there last week when Vu was buying his grab jacket, so I was able to help him negotiate a bit of a cheaper price. So that might give you an idea of my level of Vietnamese. Oh yeah, Mark, I follow Chubby Trekker. Michelin star bun sale in Da Nang. Really? Oops, sorry guys. Camera's going in it. I think it's the lights. Have you been to Chang Bang rooftop bar in Q2? No, I haven't, Derek. I don't get to District 2 very often. It's a little bit far and a little bit inconvenient for me to go out there. I probably go, I don't know, once or twice every couple of months. Bees, Matt Mel, there's a guy walking from the UK to Vietnam, Chubby Trekker. Yeah, I follow him. Yeah, I've been following him for a couple of months. I was half thinking about hitting him up for an interview at some stage. Boo, we catching up when I come back to Saigon? Yeah, let me know. Give me a little bit of notice in advance, Boo, and we can catch up, sure. Vu has just said my Vietnamese is 70% good. That's not bad. That's better than what I get from most people. So thanks for that. I'll take that as a compliment. And I'm assuming that the other 30% is shite. Yeah, Timmy, yeah, that's right. And especially with Vu, I think you know if you muck up the pronunciation of Vu, I think you know what that means if you have no tone. Mark, only 30% bad. Yeah, that's right. Vu, I noticed that your accent, you don't have a Saigon accent, that's for sure. I noticed that. You are fairly gentle when you speak, but your Vietnamese is quite gentle as well. So I don't know what that is. Maybe that's the older style of Vietnamese. I'm getting you back now. I'm getting you back. Bees. Yeah, do it. I'm sure he would love an interview. It's an amazing thing. Yeah, I might do that. Or if he gets to Saigon, is he walking to Saigon, or is he going to Hanoi? I might even get him on the channel. How about that? That could be good. Timmy, bang on. Yeah, you got it. I knew you'd know it. No more licorice. Probably a good thing you don't get me any more licorice. Are my teeth black?
Map.
Yeah, Matt. Matt says boo correctly though. Yeah, but I make sure I hold on to the vowel. It's sort of like it's out of control though. It's like boo. Timmy, my Vietnamese is 100% good, even though I live in the US for 50 years. I speak with both Southern and Northern. Wow, amazing. Yeah, Vu. What are you going to get next time when you come back? Do you want to get a bee jacket? Thanks, Timmy. A grab helmet. Okay. Mel's laughing at that fool. Yeah, you're right, Timmy. Yeah. Okay, Mark, cheers. Cheers, mate. Thanks for joining. See you next week. Righto guys, well I've been on for about an hour and 40 minutes, so I think it's time to go and have some dinner. I hope you liked it, I hope you liked the location. If you've got any requests for other locations around Saigon for a live stream, let me know. And yeah, feel free to leave questions leading up to the live stream as well. It's good to be able to prepare a little bit. Thanks to all the new guys who joined. It was really cool to meet a lot of other people. And you guys seem to have a bit of fun at my expense as well. But yeah, cheers. I've got to go and have something to eat. And thanks everyone for joining. Good luck, Wu, up in Da Nang. Thanks, Timmy. Thanks, Bees, as usual. Thanks heaps, Derek. And Mark, I think Mark's already gone, but thanks guys for joining, and see you next week. And gut lie, guys.